understand basic time signatures.
Today we're going to learn about basic time signatures. Grab your staff paper and we are going to draw our treble clef signs all the way down the paper on each staff. Remember, the treble clef sign is used only when reading music for high voices and high instruments. So any low voices and low instruments would not use the treble clef sign. Now that you're done with your treble clef signs, please take your ruler and through the middle of each staff, I want you to draw a bar line. Your bar lines are separating each staff into measures. Now at the end of each staff, draw another bar line. Moving on to our time signatures. Right close to our treble clef sign, you will draw your time signature. We are starting with 4/4 time signature. However is the easiest way for you to draw this is fine, whether you want to draw 1/4 and then a 4 right below it, or 1/4 at the bottom and then the 4 at the top. I don't really care how you do it, as long as there are 2 4s on top of each other. On the next staff, I'm going to do a 3/4 time signature. And so you just put the 3 on the top and then the 4 at the bottom, and then do it again on the next staff below. If you're wondering what these numbers actually mean, this top 4 means there's 4 beats in each measure. One of these measures can only have 4 beats, not notes, but 4 beats. So any combination of the notes that equals 4 beats can be in those measures. Now going to the 3/4 time signature, the 3 means there's 3 beats in each measure. So each one of these measures can only have 3 beats, not 3 notes, but 3 beats. Any combination of the notes that equals 3 can go in the measure. So now you're probably wondering what the bottom 4 means, and this always confused me as a kid. I just remember thinking, what? That doesn't make sense. But this bottom 4 means that a quarter note equals 1 beat. Now we're going to practice our basic note values again, starting with our quarter note. So let's get going. Draw that note head. Draw your stem. Fill in your note head, because you always have a filled in note head when you're making a quarter note. Okay, this is the note head and this is the stem. Just a reminder, note head, stem. Next, we're going to do our half note. Again, our half note has a note head that is not filled in and a stem. So it's a clear note head and a stem. Then we'll work on our dotted half note. So it looks just like a half note, with a clear note head and a stem, except for it has a little beauty mark on the side, a dot. And finally, we have the whole note, which is the easiest note to make with only a clear note head. Now is the fun part. We can add different notes in the measure as long as they equal 4. So you can use any combination. So this first measure, I've decided to add a whole note, and that is 4 beats. So that is the only note I can actually put in that measure. In my second measure, I've decided to put a dotted half note, which is 3 beats. I still need to add 1 more beat, because remember, in each measure, it gets 4 beats. So if you thought a quarter note would be a good idea to put here, you are correct, because it is only 1 beat. So fill in that note head and add that stem. And that is 1 beat. And if you add 3 plus 1, I hope you know the answer is 4. Okay, I'm holding my phone again to take this video, so sometimes my notes are not turning out so well, like this one. I need to get that line right in the middle of my note, so I have to erase it, which now it's not going to look so good, but trying my best here. Forgive me. Okay, this time I am adding a half note. So I gotta add my stem, and a half note is 2 beats. And then I'm adding another half note because we need 2 more beats. So I could have added not only a half note at the beginning, I could have added 2 quarter notes because that would have equaled 4 as well. And now my next measure, I'm going to add a quarter note. Gotta add that stem too. And this time I'm going to add another quarter note. And those are 1 beat each. And right now I only have 2 beats in that measure. So I could add 2 more quarter notes, or I could add another half note. So I have decided to make another half note. And 1 + 1 + 2 = 4. So moving on to the 3/4 time signature, I cannot add a whole note in this measure because that would be 4 beats, and that's too many beats. I can only have 3, so I am going to add a dotted half note here, and that = 3, so gotta fix that dot. And then I can move on to the next measure. This time I'm adding a half note, and a half note is only 2 beats. So if I need 3, I still need 1 more beat. Right now I'm fixing my half note again because the note head does not have the line in the middle of the note head. So again, my writing isn't looking so good because I am filming and drawing at the same time. Yes, add that 2 beats below it. Then moving on, I'm adding a quarter note because a quarter note gets 1 beat. Hopefully this is sticking in your brain now. Over here I have 3 beats, and 2 + 1 is 3, so I'm good to go. In this measure, I'm adding a quarter note at the beginning to do a different combination. Adding that stem to my filled in note head. I'm just doing the opposite of what I did in that measure up there. So this time I'm going to add a half note, which is 2 beats. So I have the quarter note 1 beat, the half note 2 beats, and so that's 3 beats. Just like in the time signature, I need 3 beats in each measure. This time I am just going to add 3 quarter notes because each quarter note is a beat. And if I have 3 of them, 1 + 1 + 1 = 3. Okay, this first measure is a dotted half note that equals 3. So I only need 1 note. Half note, quarter note = 3. Then I have my quarter note and half note, which = 3, and my 3 quarter notes, which = 3. Going over my 4/4 time signature, a quarter note and half note = 4. My half note plus half note = 4. My dotted half note plus quarter note = 4, and my whole note = 4, so I'm good. Here are some other combinations you can use. A quarter note plus a dotted half note, which equals 4. A half note plus 2 quarter notes equals 4. And then a quarter note, a half note, a quarter note equals 4. So any of these combinations you can use. It doesn't matter how many notes, it matters how many beats are in each measure, depending on the time signature. I really hope this makes sense.
Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe to see more videos.